inside. Danyell, Carmelita, shining bright.
Hello, welcome. It is me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. If you guys are watching us via YouTube or Twitch or Facebook or X, then you saw that I got a new intro. If you guys are listening to this via podcasts, Amazon, is that a thing? Yeah, Amazon, Apple, wherever you listen, Spotify, then you guys heard a new song. The song is not new, but the video is. Okay, let's get started on what we have. Welcome back to, and if you are new, hello, hi, I'm Danyell Carmelita. We got a lot going on this week. Okay, we got Venus shaking things up with Uranus. You're feeling that currently, so this is just me letting you know you're not insane, you're okay. Cancer, we have that new moon happening this week. It's going to help us, maybe some new emotional beginnings. Some incredible outer planet aspects are happening too. It's dealing with innovation, transformation, and the future. And all of that is tied into this basket pattern. If you don't know anything about astrology, maybe you know some about astrology and you're like, what the hell does that mean? I will explain. Basically, it's Jupiter, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, all doing some stuff together, creating this beautiful pattern called a basket pattern. Chiron in Taurus is also involved in that. So let's get started. Also, we're going to talk about some tarot too. I would do the tarot of the week. So let's talk about the dates. If you are watching this, you see this beautiful timeline that I don't create. I send it to AI. There's that. But if I did create it, it wouldn't have all this extra zhuzh. Okay, I did do the timelines before. July 13th, Venus is squaring Uranus. On the 14th, we have a new moon in Cancer. I'll tell you the time when I do it officially, when I break it down. And then on the 15th, we have Uranus is sextile Neptune. That's going to be part of this basket, okay? And Uranus is also going to trine Pluto. Now, what's now part of the basket is on the 19th, Mars is going to sextile Saturn. Now, what is a part of the basket is Jupiter trining Neptune and Jupiter opposing Pluto. So all that is happening this week. This is the vibe in the sky, the energy that you are feeling, what the collective is doing, and you individually. All that is happening this week. So you won't feel weird, okay? Because I'm going to explain it. If you are enjoying what you're hearing so far, if you are someone who's coming from past videos, hello, what are you doing? Give a thumbs up. If you love astrology, subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any important transit, because I do the astrology weather weekly. I'm here every Monday. If not Monday, then I show up on Tuesday. But guess what? You do get it every week. If this episode helped you understand what's happening to you personally, or why what's on the news is happening, share it with a friend or someone who also loves astrology. It really helps my channel. Okay. And wherever you're listening to this, grow. I love to hear from you too. So if you have any advice or any constructive criticism, no negativity, then share it. Even if you are experiencing something that I'm explaining, and the predictions are true, go ahead and share it. I love to know which transit has really affected you this week. Is it the Cancer new moon? Is it this basket pattern that I'm explaining? Let me know. And don't forget, I'm on YouTube, like I said earlier. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, X, Twitch, Facebook. I also have an Instagram and TikTok if you want some extra stuff. So there. Also, too, I have a newsletter. Don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter, okay? It gives you the weekly astrology broken down in simple terms, and it's permanently there. You don't have to watch a whole video or listen to a whole episode to get it. So go ahead and sign up for that. Also, too, that helps me stay in touch with you. In the time of cancel culture, okay? In a time where the social media platforms, that's Pluto and Aquarius, is ruining public speech. How can I stay in touch with you? How can they not just take away my power? Well, that is in the email. So go ahead and sign up for the newsletter. Even if you don't want the weekly astrology, it helps me stay in touch with you. And then you can know all the tea, actually, behind the scenes too. Also, I go deeper. Speaking of behind the scenes, I go deeper in my private community. It's a price cheaper than a cup of coffee. I break down horoscopes, transits. I break that down even more. A lot of conspiracy theories, okay? Because I am one of those people who's like, is the earth really flat? Let's check that out. Or what is NASA? We talk about things like that. So go ahead and check out my private community. Also, if you have any personal questions about your chart and you can't afford a reading, you can ask that in the private community. So let's get started with this week, shall we? Oh, I really wanted to give an update about July. I did my check out my last July video. On the 23rd, we have Mercury is going to station direct coming up. Emotional clarity. On the 26th, the nodes will enter Aquarius and Leo. I did a video on that. Check that out. And we're closing out the month with Saturn station retrograde in the sign Aries. Karmic tests will be coming up, okay? If it's not happening already. Now, let's talk about this timeline. And do we have it on now? July 13th, we have Venus. Where's my Venus on this chart? Oh, I took it off because I was trying to show you something. But anyway, Venus is in the sign Virgo, is sitting next to the past. Have you had some past friends come visit you? Well, that's a Venus sitting next to the South Node. If not, then go ahead, ignore it. But we do have Venus in the sign of Virgo. It's squaring Uranus in the sign Gemini, okay? Expect changes happening here. This is a friend acting very, very weird. My mom says I use the word bizarre all the time. I didn't know that. So I wanted to say that this is a friend acting very bizarre. But I use weird instead of bizarre, okay? Venus in Virgo seeks stability, consistency, and thoughtful improvement. Virgo energy likes to cleanse, diminish, and refine, while Uranus in Gemini craves innovation, freedom, unexpected changes. Gemini is all about the conversation, any type of communication. So you have texting, email, all that. And the square creates friction, but this friction is often a catalyst for growth anytime you have a square, okay? Square transits are not the best. They don't make you happy. This transit also deals with two mutable signs. So it's a mutable square, meaning that there is change. Now, people who are not getting along with this energy are on my mutable signs. So Pisces, Gemini placements, Venus placements, Sagittarius placements. This is not really working for you. Are you resisting change, or is change leading you towards something better? Venus rules relationships, love, marriage, self-worth, money, values, beauty, aesthetics, fashion, your harmony, balance, even court and justice, and pleasure. Any type of partnership too. Venus in Virgo is going to have values dealing with loyalty, practical love, acts of service, wellness, healthy routines, organization, dependability, thoughtful communication, quality over quantity, continuous improvement. While that quality over quantity is currently what I'm going through right now, I have Gemini placement, so there is that, and Sagittarius placement. So I am one of them who's also experiencing some stuff. Two, whether it's friendship or harmony, it is definitely in there. And the key word is to refine, okay? Now, Uranus represents sudden changes. And Uranus is sitting next to Mars, so there's some action here. But sudden changes, breakthroughs, freedom, innovation, technology, AI, the future, rebellion, liberation, the unexpected, and awakening. In the sign Gemini, this is things that rule over communication, like I said earlier, learning something new, the beginning of learning. Sagittarius is a higher learning. Uranus in Gemini is the beginning of learning something new that's really different, doing something out of the box, but doing it for the first time while learning something new. Writing, social media, transportation within the community, day-to-day travel, networking, siblings, technology, short distance travel is day-to-day travel, and information. Uranus revolutionizes the Gemini aspect. So a lot of protesting through words with a good friend. Maybe not a good friend, okay? Venus square, it shakes things up. So you can have some unexpected relationship changes, a surprise conversation, maybe a breakup, maybe a makeup, maybe a new fresh perspective on that friendship. There's some financial surprises, unexpected expenses, maybe new income opportunities, maybe investing in something that is fluid. Okay, it's just ever changing. Also maybe changing your values, something you once value, you may no longer feel that it's important. Freedom in relationships. Can you love someone without controlling them? Kind of thing. Unexpected conversations. Again, an unexpected text, email, phone call, or a meeting of some sort. But it's said it's social and it's surprise or weird, awkward, or maybe intellectual, but you feel the tension here, okay? Also could be dealing with some technology like learning AI, upgrading AI, anything dealing with futuristic kind of things. A beauty transformation, you're dressing kind of weird. It didn't go right, okay? You tried to do something, you tried to refine it, or you need to refine it, okay? Breaking old habits. Virgo is really about routines. Uranus is like F the routines kind of energy. Creative innovation. This could be creative writing or different teaching methods or experimenting with content. Personal liberation as well. Sometimes the greatest gift of Uranus is showing you where you outgrown your old life, especially if it's something that's mundane and mundane or just constantly over and over. Yeah, and just being perfect, right? The need to be perfect kind of energy. Okay, so I told you who's going to feel this the most. And good luck. This could be very impulsive kind of energy. It could be restless. It could be overacting to anything that's dealing with inconsistency or change, or maybe financial things are changing really fast. Maybe a relationship is not stable. Yeah, not every surprise requires immediate reaction. Though you can take your time, you can think about it, you can pray. If you have a question here, if it's something that's really bothering you, we have the Eight of Wands here that I pulled. There's constant movement and progress. Even though right now you may feel like, ugh, don't worry, this will slowly change and progress. It will move fast, very Uranus and Gemini, and you won't be stuck. I pulled the Two of Swords in reverse. You won't be stuck in your indecision about which way to go or stagnant in which way to go. Okay, so that is what we have as of today. You're already feeling it. So, congratulations. I'm just telling you, you're normal. Now, we have our new Cancer in new Cancer. Our new moon in Cancer. Actually, let me pull up the exact chart here. Here's our new moon in Cancer. It is happening exactly at 2:43 a.m. Los Angeles time. Okay. This new moon is conjunct Mercury in the sign Cancer, and Mercury is retrograding. So that's going to be very interesting. It's also at 21 degrees, which is a Sagittarius degree. So get ready for that. The sun represents our identity, our purpose, our confidence, leadership. Any type of leader, a president as well. Vitality, conscious awareness, our goals, self expression, life direction, father figure. The sun highlights a lot of things. Whatever it touches, it just highlights. Also, our personal power. And when you're dealing with the moon, and that's really what this is about, the new moon, you're dealing with emotions, intuition, instinct, home, family, the past, habits, security, memories, nourishment, the subconscious mind, your sleep, your dreams is ruled by the moon, right? Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon in Cancer, same thing, very strong energy. Anytime we have any new moons, anytime we have a conjunction, this is a new cycle happening. Now we have a conjunction, which we also call a new moon, between the sun and the moon. Now we have new beginnings. This is fresh starts, new opportunities, planting the seeds. This is a time for manifesting. Oh gosh, why was that hard for me to say? Because Mercury is retrograding. Okay, in a sign Cancer, and I have a sun in Cancer. I've had some interesting things happening. Anyway, but great time to set some goals, new habits, hope, growth, and a new emotional cycle. Who's excited about that? Me. This happens July 14th. Okay, everyone get excited. Things may be repeated though, because you have that Mercury sitting there retrograding. I talked about this in previous videos, but constantly redoing, resaying, all that stuff. Something is being taken back. Personal themes that could be happening. Again, new beginnings happening, setting some attention, some emotional reset, building some new habits, especially around anything dealing with the home or something from your past happening. Hold on. Let me see. Am I reading my right notes? No, I wasn't. Anyway, but all that happens. I don't like to say the wrong thing, but I write a lot of things down. because I have a Mars in Gemini, so I kind of get a little too detailed with things. Anyway, but Cancer themes are home, family. Family includes and home includes your physical home, decorating, or wherever you feel safe. Safe. Your family could be extended family, whoever makes you feel safe. Any type of family traditions, your parents, your children. Emotional security, trust, vulnerability, intuition, your dreams, your gut instincts, your divine guidance, motherhood, and caregiving. Are you pregnant? Are there mother figures around you? This new moon is going to be about that. It could even be about nurturing and caring for loved ones, healing the past, maybe whatever childhood memories you have or family patterns. That inner child work is all about forgiving and releasing too. A lot of self care. You're talking about nourishment, right? Memories and things that are very nostalgic, even your ancestry, emotional expression, a very empathetic energy, building your foundation. That is your home, that's your family, that is your emotional resilience, that's your security. Cancers love security, so that could be financial security, any type of security, support systems as well. Globally with everyone else, the collective, that was more personal, but the collective, this new moon is bringing a fresh start, or you can manifest things that's dealing with housing and real estate or any type of family policies. It could be adoption, child care, foster care, any type of parental resource, or anything dealing with your mom or women or caregivers, pregnancy, childbirth, women's health. Great time for any type of food because Cancer rules nourishment. So nutrition as well. Anywhere where people are taking care of you, not necessarily a slave, but just in a caring way. So like a bed and breakfast, a vacation home, or a home of some sort, where like an old folks home, but more there's Saturn. Anything dealing with history, so like the museums, archives, or cultural heritage. Water, Cancer rules water. So anything dealing with oceans, rivers, lakes, flooding, water conservation, saving water, right? All that connects with that AI too, right? Because apparently, if you use AI, it takes some water away. My daughter told me that. Also, the public moon. The moon rules the public, and Cancer also reflects the public's opinion and the national morale. All that is happening with a new moon in Cancer. On a positive side, when you have a conjunction, so when you have a conjunction, they're strong. On a positive, it could be about building a strong emotional foundation and setting a tone with improving the relationship with your mom, our communication with your mom, our communication with the past, and addressing that. But this is also very sensitive energy, is very emotional. There is fear anytime there is something that's dealing with the past that could be happening, or clinging to the past, or just be aware of that. Also, too, Cancer is very, that claw there, it doesn't, it likes to cling to things, so like releasing things may be a hard thing, but it's fine with the Cancer new moon. Let me see what else we have. New family chapters, something with your intuition. That night could be very deep and symbolic. Pay attention. Great for setting goals with self-care, like rest, nutrition, sleeping, even working out, right? If you want to renovate your home or declutter your home or decorate your home, great time to manifest that. Any type of healing with your family or your mother, that relationship with your mother, or any type of caregiver, great time for that. Building emotional security. Let me see, healing childhood patterns, manifesting anything from the heart, from the emotions. Heart is more Leo energy. We'll get into what the Sagittarius part has to do with this as well. So go ahead and manifest under all those things. Let me see. It's conjunct Mercury. Mercury rules everything dealing with communication, thinking, learning, writing, contracts, technology, even commerce. So, trade of some sort, any type of transportation that's very local, and information, decision making, and siblings. So, this new moon sitting next to that could be really you talking about healing or starting something new with a sibling. Maybe you're reviewing the past because it is retrograding. You're healing emotional wounds. You're rewriting limited beliefs. You're having conversations you've been avoiding. You're listening to your intuition. Yeah, so the conversations could be redundant here, but you had that conversation in the past, didn't finish it, and now you're going to have it with your family. Maybe you're revisiting an old dream you wrote down in a journal. Okay, maybe you're reflecting in a journal. Maybe you're healing that childhood energy. The Cancer rules that, but there's discussions of it, are thinking about it, are learning something new about something from your childhood. Maybe you're strengthening your emotional security, what truly makes you feel safe. That could be happening, using your intuition over logic. That could be a possibility too. But just know that Mercury rules all those things that I said, as far as communication and siblings and new learning things. And now it's added to this emotional chapter. So we have that emotional speeches, important media stories, public reflection over something that was historical, national conversations about caregiving, child care, education, new information regarding real estate, mortgages, domestic policies. Maybe the government is going to have some type of announcement, or someone's going to say something about housing and families or mothers. Increased interest in your ancestry, our family history, renewed attention to mental health and emotional well-being. Yeah, maybe there is an emotional speech given by a leader and a crying. Maybe. I don't see that happening, but you never know. Okay. It's happening at 21 degrees. Speaking of speeches, 21 degrees is a Sagittarius degree, and it is about not being on the stage, but the world wide web. Everyone globally is involved here. Okay. It's expanding things here, a Sagittarius energy, emotional growth, new chapters, moving, having courage, getting out of your comfort zone. It's all about faith. So there's going to be faith added to this. Now, Mercury is the new learning, and it's the beginnings of learning, and Sagittarius adds the higher learning. So maybe you're taking a new class, and it's something that you know the beginnings of, or you're starting to begin it because you're retrograde, means you're repeating, but there's also a higher learning element added to it. This also, if you're a writer or you're publishing, there's something here connected with that. If you have travel plans, many people could begin planning the travel plans. And maybe this is something you were planning before, but now you're starting to really go through it. Healing some family beliefs, like I said, but now the beliefs are added to it with the Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius also is higher wisdom, and Cancer rules intuition. So those two things could be added to it. Now, again, the new moon is all about manifestation. Now it's manifestation with a purpose, because does your future align with the truth? That's very Sagittarius, the truth. Building a bigger life. Sagittarius loves to expand. Okay. So yeah, but publicly, again, something with real estate, something with housing, family policies, could be some with education, immigration, international affairs, publishing and media, religious and philosophical discussions, food security, national identity, caregiving and family support systems. Again, travel, cultural themes are added to this new moon in Cancer. Okay. So that is what we have there. Let's talk about July 15th. And that is when we have this basket thing started here. I'm going to remove some things here so you can see what is going on. Maybe I'll keep that there. We'll take this out here. And if you see here, we have a basket energy. Let me try to, for you guys who are watching, make it sit right here. Yeah, so we have this basket. I need to take a sip of water. I turned the air on, you guys. Now I'm cold. If you didn't know, I believe I'm starting menopause. There is that, okay? I get hot, and then after the hotness and the heat goes away, then I'm freezing cold. Let me know if you experience that, or if you have experience, whatever. Just let me know, okay? I refuse to take anything for this, because I feel like my parents, my grandparents, the ancestors have not. So why am I? But maybe you know something I don't know. So there is that. Let's talk about this pattern. We have a bow pattern here. And if you see here, not only do we have a bow pattern, but we have this little special thing sticking at the bottom here, which is Chiron. This first, when I saw it, I definitely saw a minor grand triangle. We have two of them added here. And if you guys are listening to this, we have Pluto. Jupiter is in opposition of Pluto. Jupiter is sextile Uranus and Mars. I added those two together. It is trining. No, it's squaring. Sorry, not trining. It's squaring Chiron in Taurus. And now Pluto is also involved here. And Pluto is sextile Neptune. I kept Saturn here just so you know it's there in the business. But Neptune in Aries is really where Pluto is sitting out. Pluto is at 4 degrees. Neptune's at 4 degrees. Uranus is at 4 degrees. Jupiter is at 3 degrees. We'll be at 4 degrees later on at the end of the week. 4 degree is a Cancer degree. Everything that I said earlier, the home, the history, the past, the ancestry, big themes. So this new moon in Cancer could be setting off some big themes when it comes to our homeland and real estate, or when it comes to your emotions and sensitivity or your mom. Okay. So know that it's there. Okay. Now, when you have a basket, let me go down to the bottom of my notes so I can make sure I give you all the tea on a basket. The pattern is very strong energy and it's very pushed to one side. Let me see. Where did I put the basket energy here? I have the sextile. Where did I put the notes? I should have labeled it basket. That would have been easier. Let's see if I put it in my 20th here. Okay, here we go. Basket. Okay. So this pattern with major historical shifts, collective awakenings, technical is the word. Technical advancements and reorganization of societal structures. Okay. This pattern is very focused energy. If you notice, one side of the chart is completely full and other ones are not. This is not like a stallion. A stallion is when you have like all these planets in one sign. No, they're focused on different things, but there still is a focus. Okay, the bundle is all grouped together, and they represent the core, the concentrated talent and focus, and they're pretty much the container. And they represent the collective energy. So, strong themes of Aries, fighting something new, being an entrepreneur, being first. Aries represents the number one. Anytime, whenever you think of Aries, just think of the number one. It could be the individual, it could be the first, it could be fast, it could be very impulsive energy. Fearless, right? Because you're by yourself. Now, also, you have this energy of Gemini. Again, I talked about that earlier. A lot of communication with Gemini, very social, okay? All this energy here is giving us resources, talents, experiences, wisdom, and potential. It's contained though. It's in a basket. What's holding the basket? The things that are holding the basket is making these things very positive, but they're still containing it, and that is the handle. And the handle on the opposite sides, right? There's an opposition, can't see eye to eye. And this represents your purpose, your outlet, your calling, how you express your gifts, your energy that reaches out to the collective. And the dropping point, though, I want to point out is Chiron and Taurus. I think that the main focus point, because there is a point here, if you guys are not listening, there is a point. And the point is dealing with Chiron. Chiron is the planet of healing. It's in the sign Taurus. And that is the midpoint of this bundle. Chiron's themes are healing, self-worth, building confidence, teaching from experience, turning wounds into wisdom, creating lasting security and stability, all about the money and the resources and the banks and the stocks. So let's see what happens to that collectively. There could be some technology breakthrough, some artificial intelligence, scientific innovation, collective awakening, social transformation, new economic systems, reorganizations of institutions, humanity entering a new chapter. Okay. Now, Jupiter and Pluto opposition here becomes the main point of tension. Jupiter expands things, Pluto intensifies things. So it's going to intensify the people versus the leader. Leo represents the leader, could also represent the presidents. Okay. I would say that Trump has an Aries, a Leo rising. So this is in his first house. But this basket is going to have some sense of purpose. There's going to be some leadership. There's going to be integration, opportunity through balance, responsibility, influential energy. Jupiter is all about growth, expansion, opportunity, wisdom, faith. In Leo, creativity, leader, king, gold, confidence, entertainment. Oh, yeah. Celebrities could be a big thing in here, too. Also, dealing with children. It could be, I always say Pizzagate is very Leo energy. If you know about Pizzagate, that is a conspiracy theory. Go ahead and check out my group, private community for that, but also represents recognition and personal influence. There is this South and North node that will eventually enter Leo too, and releasing of these things. A lot of releasing of the ego, of being childlike kind of energy. Anyway, or being on stage. But back to my basket here. So we'll take the North and South node out of the picture. But Jupiter is trining Neptune. And this is all about faith, spiritual growth, creativity, compassion, being very hopeful and very happy with abundance and love and charity, right? Now, Jupiter is opposing Pluto. This is power struggles, a lot of ego battles, a lot of extreme thinking, overconfident, obsession with a success, and control issues. Now, Pluto is not getting along with Chiron, the healing, and Jupiter is not getting along with Chiron healing. So there's a lot of tensions with having healing about your resources, about the collective's resources. So be aware of that. And also, there is great energy with being compassionate and giving. There's also great energy with thinking outside of the box and being different. That is what that Pluto and Uranus represents. It's the AI, it's the future, it's the power to the people rebelling. That could be happening. Believing in yourself, stepping into leadership, thinking bigger, trusting your intuition. Don't be afraid to be seen. Transform your mindset, share your gifts, major breakthroughs with AI. Let's see what happens there. A lot of growth in industries, expansion of education and publishing, new discussions about power and leadership. Uranus brings intense conversations with the intellect. So there is that. Let me see what else I have here. Chiron, healing the self-worth, building stability, finding inner security. Yeah, I do think as a collector, there's something with what you value, what's resourceful, but also there is a big issue with trying to heal yourself with resources, okay? With finances and money. Let me see what else we have here. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. It's all about humanity evolving, breaking free, a spiritual awakening, healing from within, innovation meets spirituality, freedom with responsibility. So freedom isn't true. True freedom is not about like doing whatever you want. Okay. It's becoming your authentic self while respecting others. And there could be a sense of that happening. Letting go of the old, breaking anything of your old identity and doing something new. A lot of creativity with art, film, music, technology, and science and education. All that could be happening with this energy. At the same time, there is an opposition to like you expressing yourself, just so you know, are an opposition to the people, the power of the people. Are you being able to speak freely? Because Pluto and Aquarius is all about communication. I hope I'm explaining this, but this basket is a lot of hope for the future, a lot of collective changing things like their education, the government, the technology, the religion, the business, not destroying it, but improving it. Also, too, these sextiles are opportunities for things. So there's an opportunity to be different, the opportunity to look in the future, the opportunity to work with the collective and still be a leader. There is an opportunity to be, well, I talked about this, to be compassionate and have intensity with that, or to really transform the way people think about compassion and love. Are the less fortunate? Are drugs? Are the people who you consider cuckoo? There's an opportunity to change that here. Okay. Let me see what else we have. thinking different, dreaming bigger, taking the first step, sharing that idea, inspired ideas, reinventing your voice, learning new technology, authentic leadership, expand your mind. All this can happen this week. There's just an opposition here. And there is a huge issue on healing yourself when it comes to what you deem valuable. I just want you to be aware of what happens here. A big theme of communication. I saw that constantly this week. A big theme of being yourself and an individual. All this is individuality. I want you to be aware of that. So that is what we have huge. Who is this going to affect the most? This is going to affect everyone. Okay, you're talking about my cardinal signs, and my cardinal signs are my Aries, my Cancers, my Capricorns, my Libras, going to be affecting you. Okay, good and bad, but there is that. My water signs, though, not the best for you. Just so you know, fire signs, it may be the best for you. Okay. So my fire signs are Aries, my Leos, my Sagittarius. There is some positivity, but there is some negativity when it comes to moving and being different. With my mutable signs, which is dealing with Sagittarius, Virgos, Geminis. I'm trying to tell you, everybody, Pisces. Okay. Everyone's going to be affected. The only thing I don't see on here that is like the blessing is water signs. Okay. We do have a Cancer new moon. So you are going to be affected with that. And also, too, the Cancer new moon is going to be affecting in the best light all of my water signs. So you have the Pisces, the Cancers, and you have my Scorpios. Amazing for you, right? Won't be working really well with my Aries, the Cancer new moon, and also with my Libras and my Capricorns. Will be a little different, and it all depends on the placement of your personal planets or the planets. Just know that. But other than that, we are going to do. I hope you understand what happens this week. There's a huge focus of energy. It is contained. There's a huge focus on healing what you value. There is a containment between the people versus the individual. The expressing yourself in a very different way, and it's just expressing yourself and being on a stage. It's the we versus the I, okay? The heart versus the mind kind of energy. And that energy is contained with all these other fluid energies that are working positive together, but it's like you're contained. It's boxed up. It's in a containment. I don't know what other word to say besides contained, okay? Yeah, but there is this focus of healing. So there is that, okay? Now, I want to pull some cards for everyone. Since I told how this all affects everyone. Let's see what we have. Oh yeah, I have a little thing that I said I'm going to do. We are going to do the tarot now, okay? I should say tarot with the music. The music is giving a little porn, is it not? Anyway, okay, so let me pull some cards, what we have for you who are watching and what we have for you this week. First, we'll talk about the new moon. And in Cancer, we have the Empress card. Look at that. That could be fertility, motherhood, definitely creativity, very feminine energy. Really being in the energy of comfort. Like that for you. Very positive with that, but definitely could represent fertility, giving birth to something. Not like a baby, but really giving birth to something. Also, with the new moon in Cancer, we have this makes sense with it conjunct Mercury. We have the new moon giving us new ideas, new thoughts, clarity. Oh, I love that clarity, right? The truth, aha moments happening. Also, too, we have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is very deceitful, so it's like you have awareness on deceit. You have awareness on who's stealing from you, who's being secretive, or maybe you're aware of the secrets and the deceit that you have within. Okay, but awareness happening and a fresh new start of fertility and birth. Okay, now what do we have for this basket that we are having this week too? Okay, this basket is giving us the Nine of Wands. You need to persevere. You have to be strong. You cannot give up. Ooh, also celebrations, so it's like You're celebrated for not giving up, for persevering, for staying strong. A lot of fire, a lot of drive. God's giving you new opportunities on creativity, on having passion or feeling motivated, having a drive to do something new. And let me pull another card for the basket. And we have the Knight of Swords. I notice we have no water. Okay, the emotions are involved with that. But the Knight of Swords is also being very fast. So this week is going to move very fast for the collective and for you. Very anxious energy, but still working on the truth, the power of the word, the power of the tongue. Very intellectual, reading, writing, learning energy. Okay, it's all about the mind versus the heart this week. All right. As we wrap this week up, remember communication is everything. Slow down before you react. Ask questions before you assume. Make any assumptions. Mercury is retrograding in the sign Cancer, people. Okay. Listen up. Listen just as much as you speak. Remember, I'm telling you, Mercury's retrograding. In the midst of all this, one honest conversation can strengthen a relationship, open a new door, completely change your perspective. Align yourself with a conscious choice this week, okay? Are your choices aligned with your values? Are you communicating from love and not from fear? Are you choosing what helps you grow instead of what makes you comfortable? That is that card I pulled with the Empress, just being comfortable. Yeah, but are you choosing what really helps you grow in life? Every conversation, every relationship, every decision is an opportunity to choose being authentic. Uranus and Gemini. Be authentic, have integrity and connection. Thank you so much for spending this part of your week with me. I hope this forecast gives you clarity for the week and confidence as you move past these transits. Have a beautiful week. Be kind with your words. Stay open to any new possibilities. Stay flexible. And remember, the conversations you have this week could shape the path you're walking tomorrow. Anything from your past, work on that trauma bond, work on your childhood, have that healthy conversation with your mom. People from your past are probably coming and visiting you out of the blue, and things are weird. Let it go. Let God have faith. Okay. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in my next astrological forecast. Hopefully, I'll have another video up before that, but in case I don't, see you next Monday.
Bye bye.